Oh wait, bro, can you hear me? Yo, G-Pain.
Hey, Jack. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I went out to pee.
Oh, good, man. My computer was fucking up, man. I'm just happy it's working. Hey, tell me if you can hear my audio and see my screen real quick.
All right.
Can you see my screen and hear it?
Yep, I can even hear the audio. Yes.
Okay, that's a good sign. That's first good sign. All right. Now we're stop sharing. I have a few board members waiting in the room for us, but they can wait until we get this. So I'm gonna live to Facebook, live on Facebook.
All right. No problem. Let's get it.
I'll mute all upon entry.
All right.
Everybody that enters the room will be muted. So live streaming Zoom to Facebook. Choose where to post your Zoom link. Choose where to post your Zoom meeting. Share to page.
Yeah.
Select page. Peace Play South Africa. Should I go live now or should I wait until?
Now, maybe let's wait. Maybe until maybe 5 minutes. Close to
Okay, I'll
five
wait till the
two.
board. So now I'll admit the board members in now.
All right. Let them in. Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. You can unmute your mics. I muted everybody upon entry, so it's automatically muted for now.
Hello.
Hi.
My background picture is not liking me.
Hello. What happened?
It stopped again. It's been
Hi,
everyone. It's not working on my phone.
It's working, Ness. I can see it.
It's on my phone now. It's not working on my computer. So I'm using my
Oh.
phone. How's everyone doing?
We fabulous. Fabulous.
Good.
Yeah, on my computer, it's not working.
Now it is. You're good now. It's showing now, Nas. I'm not sure if it was before.
Yeah, it's on my phone now, but not on my computer. It's okay. At least it's working somewhere.
Yeah, it's fine. We can hear you.
How's my
anyway.
dodgy light? I have like this dodgy light in the office.
Yeah, I also got doggy lights. You can see my lights are not very bright. So I've got these lights, yeah. Just throw some lights on my face. Huh? Okay, otherwise I'm dark. Oh, how are you, Snares? Snares? How are you? I can't hear you.
That is not a positive sign. I'm hoping she comes back soon.
Yeah, I can't hear her. Yo.
She'll be back. Yeah, you are muted, Nas.
Thank you. Is everyone else on the call?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Is everyone else mic working?
Yep.
Rita is still
Rita.
connecting.
Yes, my mic's on, working.
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly?
Lovely.
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you very clearly.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I have earphones today. Are they better?
Yes,
Much
can hear
better.
you very well.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I'm using computer. Can you hear me clearly?
very clear.
Perfect.
Loud and clear.
You know, the numbers has to come out clearly.
You know. The numbers will be doing the talking.
Sure, sure.
The number.
Looks like Rita is having problems today.
Yeah.
She connecting
You know what
audio.
was really weird?
Yeah.
So yesterday, my computer was not connecting. It was not doing the background screen thing the other day, right? So yesterday during our meeting, I just tried it out of trying it, and then it worked. And then today, we tried it the whole day. It's not coming on. The wall is just yellow behind me. So I'm on my phone now, and I'm like, geez.
Yes, cross fingers. I just decided to use my phone and not even touch the computer and stress myself.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out how to go through it quick.
Yeah. Hi, Rita. I heard you.
guys hear
Hi,
me?
Rita.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can.
can.
Okay, great. Naz, you look so pretty, shiny and makeup.
Lip gloss. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Simfisa's makeup looks the nicest.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Okay,
so
Slee
Naz-
is the only person I haven't heard from. She's here though. Maybe her audio is not connecting. The rest of my team, I think I can see Anisha, Tando, Pindi, Lesanele, Spiso, Jipane, Doug. Yeah, Slee is the
you know
only
you're
person we
already-
can't.
You're already recording, Naz.
Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. Can I ask if we can just stop the recording and then we'll start the recording at 6? Rita?
Yeah.
I have one question. Are we going to start at 6, like play the video at 6, whether people are there or not?
I don't know. What do you think?
I was thinking that maybe we can just give it, the video is about 4 minutes anyways. That maybe we'll start the video 2 minutes after 6 while people are coming in. And then by the time it's finished, we should have enough people to just go straight into it.
I think start the video at 5 minutes past.
5 past. Yeah, 5 past. I also think that.
5 past. Okay.
Yeah.
Rita, can we just have who's going to second you on the minutes? So that means all of us don't unmute and say me and you and all of that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's up to you
Good
guys
one.
who wants to do that. I don't mind that.
Okay. I can do
I
one.
can second. Oh. I'll second the minutes.
Okay, and
You'll
then
second
what's the other one?
minutes.
What was the other one? You
Okay,
had 2.
So
The
yeah, just give me a second. Okay, so I'm gonna say we've got a quorum, clear it open. First. Minutes of the previous meeting. So I said in the invitation, there was a link provided to these minutes, which I now table for acceptance. I propose a motion to accept these minutes as tabled. Can I have a second? And then Naz would say it. So, okay, and then
I just say aye, right?
yeah, that's fine. And then the second thing is that the meeting is held later than usual, because in the Constitution it has to say, or it says that we have to hold it by the end of November of the next financial year, and now it's like June of the next one.
Okay.
So it's late, so I'm just going to motion that the discrepancy is ratified, and then I'll ask for a second there. Who's going to second me?
Okay, I'll do that one.
All right. So Rita, I'm struggling to hear you now. I don't know whether
Is
it's
it?
just me.
Did everyone hear me okay?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Mm.
I think
Okay,
you just
no,
need to
you-
come a little louder, Rita, but otherwise we can't hear you.
My husband's stuff here, so I don't have no idea.
Okay, sorry guys, just before
Is
we
it better
carry
now?
on, can
Slee, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Where's your face?
I'm trying to
That's
move from my phone to the laptop. So I couldn't got the background on my phone. Okay, it's sorted on my laptop.
There you are. Awesome.
Yes, is having connection problems. She's been frozen like that. Oh, she's out.
Okay, so yeah, that's that one. Bassi will second the ratification, the holding like the meeting, and then Leslie, will you do it?
Yes, sorry?
You just second when I ask for the to appoint the auditors.
Okay, no problem.
See, this way I can see whether you guys are listening. Okay. Where is Nancy? Should we be worried?
All right, and the CP is back. Everyone, I just want to make sure we are good to go live, or do we need a few more minutes?
Just give me a minute, please. Just
5 more minutes.
Yeah, Doug, we said that we'll give it about 5 minutes just for people to log on. How many people do we have on already? Can you tell us?
Okay.
You see,
It's 13 already. On the side.
I was saying that Linda has also joined us on the call. So thank you so much, Linda, for making time to join us and for accepting to be our keynote speaker today.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
welcome.
Welcome, Linda.
You look
Hi.
amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
She's had a practice round. I thought I would have to call
Oh,
and show
really?
her. She was like, I got it.
No, let's see. But so far, I'm okay.
All
But I
right,
appreciate
brilliant.
the support, Nancy. Thank you.
Thanks.
So are we gonna switch our cameras off now? And then the only person who's on is the one speaking.
Yes,
And so should we do that now?
yes. And I need to rename my name.
Will Doug be putting our camera on?
No, I'm not. I'm not capable of.
We'll have to put it on when
Okay.
we're starting to
Okay,
speak.
so
Okay.
maybe then video we play. Will we see it or is it only on Facebook?
Yes, you guys will see it on your side as well.
Where, like on the screen?
Yeah, you'll see it on your Zoom link where we have all our names at right now. I'm going live in 1 minute, everyone, just giving you a heads up.
My name is Joe Smith. I'm the Director of Programs at Peace Players International. And what we're doing here today is we're doing something called the Friendship Games here in South Africa. Over the course of the last 3 months, Peace Players has had Friendship Games in Cyprus, in the Middle East, in Northern Ireland, in the United States. Our whole goal here is that as they come out of our program, they have the confidence, they have the life skills, they have the leadership ability to connect with each other, to be advocates for their community, but almost more importantly, to be advocates for the other. And so at the end of the day, we start to see each other more as people. We start to have a culture of more collaboration and more sharing. And we really start to invest deeply in We start to have a culture of more collaboration and more sharing, and we really start to invest deeply in what peace actually means in the individual countries we work in, as well as across the world. And what peace actually means in the individual countries we work in, as well as across the world.
Hi, good evening and greetings to all our esteemed guests. Please Players South Africa, Please Players Global, our Facebook viewers, and the rest of South Africa who are on Facebook. So I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Maimuna Salim, and it's an honor actually and a privilege to be part of this formidable organization, Please Players South Africa. I'm a board member, and I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to our first virtual AGM. So this is such an exciting times for us now that you could be in different countries at the same time because of the situation that we are in. Before I continue, I have some house rules. Number one, please keep your mics on mute to avoid any disruptions. Announce that there will be Q&As, so please make sure that you write your message, your questions on the chat. Number two, also please write your full names when you come into the on board on registration. And also, if you have any questions, keep it for the Q&A time. And all members, please have your documents open so that to save time during our presentations. And it's been the most difficult year if I have to reflect back to 2020. We've come from a very difficult year of COVID. So globally, we've suffered such a pandemic. And it has made us become so close now because the world has come as one. So if you sit now and you look at us on this virtual platform, we are all together as one on it. But in saying that, we've all had to go through such hardships and face some realities of what we're going through. A lot of us have lost close ones, loved ones, friends, or family, and we've been affected so badly through the pandemic. But one advantage of the pandemic, it made us realize that, you know what, the world is small. And we have an opportunity to speak to and see each other on these platforms on a daily basis and more regularly. So it's quite exciting. But I would like us to take this moment and have a moment of silence for the ones that we've lost, please. Thank you so much. So without further ado and without wasting any more time before I get wrapped on the knuckles by our board chair, Mrs. Rita Msrahi, I would like to hand you over to her. Thank you so much, Rita.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rita Msrahi, the very proud chairperson and legal and compliance officer of Peace Players South Africa, and I welcome you all. Per our constitution, and the majority of our board members must be present before any meeting may begin. As we have a quorum, I now declare the 2019-2020 financial year's annual general meeting open. You will recall that our financial year runs from the beginning of July until the end of June every year. So we're talking end of 2019, beginning of 2020. The next order of business is the minutes of the previous meeting. Sorry, you've got to do all the formalities. In the invitation, a link was provided to you to these minutes, and I now table them for acceptance. I propose a motion to accept the minutes as tabled. Can I have a second from the rest of the board, please?
I second.
Thank you, Masipi. Any opposition? The motion is thus passed. Next, the meeting is held a bit later than usual due to the circumstances the world is in, and our constitution states that we have to have our AGM by November of the succeeding financial year. And our motion is that this discrepancy is ratified by the meeting as there was no prejudice suffered by anyone. Can I have a second for that, please?
I do, Vasi.
There being no opposition, I pass the motion. Let me go right in and jump in my chairperson's report. Also in the submitted invitation, all of our reports were there, so you can go and read at your leisure. I thought I'd just give a little short summary here. The year under review, like I said, is the second half of 2019, first half of 2020. Now, in the second half of 2019, we were on track with our planning for the Friendship Games in August 2020 in Israel, looking forward to it, enjoying the programming, which Fisha will tell you a bit more about. We had our international summit in New York City in April 2019, when all the site's youth leaders came together, and we had so many plans for the future. The year started great in 2020, but then COVID hit. So that's necessitated a quick pivot to adjust not only our programming, as we could not physically be with our participants and play basketball anymore, but our entire approach to how we reach our future leaders in the youth and the communities that we serve. All of that had to change. But these players are one of those happy organizations who, through collaborating with our international parent organization, fellow sites in Cyprus, East, Northern Ireland, and America, in addition to us here in South Africa, we're already geared to work remotely with our peers virtually to plan Friendship Games. Please do have a look at my report and provide it for some more global news. So in 2020, the only thing holding us back was slow internet connections and data being finished. But as always, Nasibi and her team made a plan, and they will dive deeper into how they have overcome those obstacles caused by these uncertain times. We as a board are so very proud and wish to thank Nasibi and her team with our whole hearts, and we love you so much. Now, to Nasibi to give you some information about what they have to know.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are able to hear me. Rita, I struggled to hear you from my end there, but I hope that everyone was able to hear you. But thank you so much, ladies, for opening. I'll get started with the Executive Director address. With all protocol observed, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening. To share some of the achievements and the successes that we've had in the last financial year, 2019 to 2020 financial year. As our board chairperson has already prefaced in her message that the last year was not a normal year. It is a year that we've all gone through multiple challenges with the COVID pandemic. But with all of that said, we had to find creative ways as an organization on how we can continuously to show up for our participants and the communities that we have committed ourselves to, so that they're not left destitute at the time where they need us the most. So when we started the year, so our financial year is 1st of July to the 30th of June. So the first half of the year, we started with a bang from the Mandela Day partnership with 0 to 5 in July, and then moving over to a 2-day camp, overnight camp. I think was the first overnight camp we hosted in South Africa with participants and coaches. It was a blast with the local Friendship Games camp, the video that you got to see earlier, and that was powered by Ed and Penelope Petkovic. We hosted that at Howard College. So from all of those two activities, we came up feeling very amped, using especially the Friendship Games opportunity to relaunch our leadership development program, using that as an opportunity to redefine how we facilitate our leadership program, where we recruit our participants, but also as an opportunity to revamp the entire organization. With all of that said, we had an opportunity to then restructure not just our organization, but also our staff members looking into the office, looking at the needs of our staff, looking at the communities where we work, why we're working in those schools and in those communities, what are the needs in those communities, so that we can provide an approach that will help our youth overcome the challenges that they face with on a daily basis. In the previous years, we work in different communities. The FISO in his programming reports will go through that. You'll get to hear about the areas where we work in. But in the previous years, one thing that we've always strived for as an organization is to find that common ground where different people of different racial divides could come together, interact in a safe space, play sports while they're doing life skills, and also mentoring young coaches to become mentors as they grow up. So it is very important that we're not only showing one side of the community, but we're showing the rainbow nation that the South Africa is, and making sure that each child from any community has access to different resources, and they're able to get to learn about other people as well. We made major changes. I'm sure if you've gone through our financials, you would have seen some of those changes. We've made some changes with our organizational structure in comparison to previous years. We wanted our office to reflect the diversity that you see within our board of directors, within our programs. And with that said, like all our board of directors and our programs have over 50% women representation. We wanted that to be shown in our office as well. So in the beginning of financial year, we had about 90% male dominance in our office. And we wanted to make sure that reflects what our programs and our board looks like. So right now, I'm proud to say that we have an even split between male and female, about 50-50 in our office. And I wanted that to show that we not only just preach diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it's something that we're actually taking very serious, that we are continuously creating safe spaces for everyone to feel represented and heard, so they can bring their views across. And I think that's very important to PCI South Africa is local leadership. We've always just prioritized that, because in order for us to make the change that we want to make, we need the people from their communities to be those people that are empowered to stand up. Because these young people know better than anyone. They're from those communities. They understand where they're from better than anyone. We want to empower them so that they could be the people that are leading change. For example, a person like myself, who was a participant in the program and now the executive director of the program, and looking at the rest of my staff as well, who are coming from our program, who are now the people that are leading the change that we're speaking about at Peace Players through our program. With that, we've come to realize that in order for us to make this change that we want to change, that's nothing that we can do on our own. It is important and imperative that we partner with other organizations who have a similar vision, similar goals to us, so that we're able to implement this great change we're speaking about a little bit quicker. The previous financial year, we had put a pause on our international fellowship program, mainly because we wanted to redefine and focus our energy on our objectives as PCI South Africa, to make sure that as us, we have a solid stance. It is clear in our mind what we stand for and what we're trying to do, before we had more people coming in our program. And it was really good to see in this financial year, 2019-2020, not just the international fellowship program revitalized, but also getting partnership with other volunteer programs, and also getting our coaches accredited partnerships where they can get accredited qualifications through CATPITA and others as well. As an organization, we continuously pride ourselves to keep good governance, besides this one time that our AGM is running later than usual. Otherwise, in terms of compliance, we keep good standing with the Department of Social Development in terms of the NPOs Act, including compliance with the Department of Labor, tax legislation, and with all the policies that are being reviewed annually to make sure that we continuously provide good governance throughout our organization, and non-conflict of interest, so that we are continuously in support of everyone and everything that we're doing. More than anything, the Department of Social Development will never approve of us not staying compliant with all the legislations they put in place. Even though we've made great strides, in revitalizing previous partners and current partners who are helping us to fund our programs. Raising funds remain a challenge, just like any other NPO space. And you can only imagine how much more harder it was in this financial year with the pandemic that the rest of the world has never experienced before. But I'm really proud to say that our initial goal was to raise 9 million rands by 2021. We are close, but not close enough at the moment. We'll see at the end of this financial year that in the 2019 and 2020, we wanted to have raised about 6 million rands towards that goal of 9 million rands. And majority of that income, we want to be an income that is raised locally in South Africa, because this is where our programs are impactful. Our organization is entirely run by South Africa and is registered with the Department of Social Development here in South Africa. The communities that we work with are from here, so it is important for us to be able to not just be doing everything locally, but also for local sustainability, so that we're able to employ more coaches, we're able to expand our program in other provinces as we get calls every day. And through partnerships, I'm hoping those are the things we could be able to do. And I'm calling upon you to please visit our programs, see the work that we're doing, see our youth, our coaches, and be our advocates in helping us reach our financial goals so that we can expand our programs. And just like everyone else, we're not immune to what the rest of the world is going through with the COVID-19. In the second half of the year, we started experiencing challenges, just like everybody else, when the country in South Africa was put on immediate lockdown in March. Fortunately for us, the Peace Players, as Rita already mentioned, that because of the global friendship games infrastructure that was already in place to help us work more cohesive as a global team, that came in very handy for us, because we're kind of familiar with having non-end Zoom calls and video calls with our counterparts from other sides. So that became very handy when we had to shift our program from in-person to virtual programming. And obviously that comes with its own challenges, knowing the infrastructure that we have with internet and load shedding in South Africa. It wasn't easy, but we still made it through that. So with that, all of that happening, we chose 3 things that we prioritized immediately. The first was our people. We wanted to make sure that our staff, our coaches, our parents, the communities we work in, our kids are in good health. They are feeling heard, they're feeling listened to, they're feeling supported, especially at a time where they might have been scared, they might have been in fear, not knowing what the future looks like. Lead to the schools to check and provide the support that they need, and not just the things that they didn't need. The next one was with our programs. We reach out to our schools to find ways that we could still facilitate activities online with infrastructure in school. You know, that was not easy, but we managed to get around it. At least majority of our programs were able to still participate, fortunately, during that time. We are so grateful for understanding partners and individuals who immediately reach out to us and ask us what do we need, how they can help, how they could help us during this time. People chipped in, whether it was small donations, 1 rand, 5 rand donations. People chipped in to just make sure that we're able to still provide the basic needs that our participants needed. Needs like food vouchers. We were driving across Durban, delivering food vouchers, giving each child a basketball. Some of these kids have never seen a basketball before, have never heard their own basketball except at practice. So it was nice to actually have a basketball at home so they could continue to practice, providing data and airtime for our coaches so they can actually participate in these virtual calls and programs that we've put in place. In South Africa, you know that is not cheap. So it became really challenging, but at the same time, we're able to overcome that easily because of the good people that we have as friends of Peace Players, the good partners that are understanding and who know the people that we work with and the needs that we have as an organization. So we're truly grateful for you guys for helping us with that. And then once we're able to have in-person sessions, we redesign our program to accommodate the COVID-19 restrictions. The second half of the year wasn't easy at all, but at least we managed to have about 70% of our participants constantly in attendance in sessions throughout the year. And we managed to retain 100% of our staff and coaches. And this is very big and great applaud, honestly, to our organization, to Peace Players for doing this, because as you've seen, unemployment rates have spiked up high with the pandemic, a lot of business shutting down because they're not able to keep their overhead. So honestly, just a great honor to Peace Players to be able to take care of their people the way we have so far. Communication became a priority as well, to make sure that we're giving as much detail as possible to the parents, the communities, to the kids, through calling them, emails, newsletters, and social media or website, so that they know that we are still here, we still care about them, and we're doing the best that we can to still provide everything that we can, and we always are able to provide for them. And in closing, I'd just like to extend my greatest gratitude to all our supporters, both financial and non-financial, my board of directors who work tirelessly hard for us. I appreciate your time, the resources that you bring in. To our Peace Players Global Support and Leadership team, honestly, without your guidance and support in this time especially, yeah, we really needed it. And thank you for stepping up to be there for us. My office team that works around the clock, I appreciate you guys so much. With our tireless warriors, our coaches, our superheroes, so they're the soldiers that are on the ground every day, reaching out to these participants with anything that they need, whether it's walking them home after practice, to make sure that they get home safe, or checking on them on the calls to make sure that they're feeling safe and supported. We really appreciate you guys for all that you do. Most especially to the communities that we serve, the organizations that continuously step forward to partner with us, to the parents, the communities, and the community leaders who are constantly calling on us every day on our social media or through the phone or email. We receive something from someone asking us to come work with them because they can see the power and the impact that our program has provided, especially in the KZN province, but across South Africa, because we have alumni living across South Africa that we've worked with before. So I would just really like to thank everyone for your support, for constantly showing up for us and for our youth. And just to please know that this is not the start. We're celebrating 20 years this year. You're going to get to hear more about it. But we're going to continue to work hard, striving hard to make sure we're producing quality programs and bringing them forward to the youth where they need them, helping them through life to make sure that we're building the next generation of change makers that will not only give back to Peace Players, but to other organizations that are doing the similar work that we're doing, or become corporates, or the next president could be from Peace Players, or the next governor. So we really hope that our organization will continue to grow with or without COVID, and we will continue to show up for the communities and the participants that need us the most. Thank you so much. That is all from me, Nasiti Kafu, the Executive Director of Peace Players South Africa. And I will pass it to my colleague, Sifiso, our Head of Programs, who will then take you through the different activities that we've been able to do in this 2019-2020 financial year. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Nas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sifiso Mthembu, the Head of Programs for Peace Players South Africa. And then I'm going to be giving you reports for financial year period of July 1, 2019 to the 30th of June 2020. As Peace Players, we always emphasize on delivering holistic and quality programs which will enrich the lives of youth and help us achieve our mission of creating more peaceful South Africa through sport. I'll be starting off with our sterling programs, which are professional development program and coaches development program. We've hired 22 coaches, of which 98% of them are graduates from our programs coming from the high school program. They facilitate life skills through basketball sessions 3 times a week for 4 terms a year to ensure an impactful program that will help us achieve our objectives as an organization. And we've had training delivered in-house by local partners, including Laureus Sport for Good Foundation, Child Welfare Department covered a range of topics of project management, child protection, and safeguarding policies for children. We're always fortunate to be visited by Flo. We also was fortunate to be visited by Flo Leadership Academy from United States, whom they facilitated the self-empowerment leadership training to our office staff, area coordinators, to enhance the team performance. And all these lessons were transferred back to the local leaders, which are the coaches. We have weekly session and Peace League tournament, which will happen in June to July 2020. So the Cross Community Peace League engages over 450 underserved primary school youth aged 9 to 13, and over the 100 underserved high school youth aged 14 to 18. In a robust life skills program through sports of basketball, we've had sessions taking place twice a week at the local community schools, with teams meeting once a week for cross-community Peace League games. The Peace League also provides unique opportunity for the youth from different backgrounds to interact and just to get to know each other in a safe, fun, and inclusive, safe environment. During 2020, we also transitioned our program to our virtual sphere through Zoom and other virtual avenues. And while we're doing that, conducting an in-person programs before the pandemic, a magical scene unfolded during warm-ups where we had Peace League game between Lamula Primary School based in rural village of Moweni and Hybrid Prep School in Hillcrest. The boys from Hybrid Prep saw Lamula boys playing without shoes, and they asked their coach why they were playing without shoes. And they responded that the coach that, they didn't have shoes and they don't have those resources. And the magical thing happened that the entire basketball team from Hybrid take off their shoes, threw them in the sideline, and they were like, let's just play without our shoes and feel like what it's like. And they had fun, and none of them, they were like, feeling pain or having any blisters. They enjoyed the game. They felt like they're part of the community as well. So at that moment, a group of 10-year-old boys showed everyone what a genuine compassion, solidarity, and common ground look like when it comes to community engagement. And then in July, the 18th of July, 2019, we celebrated Nelson Mandela Day. We were invited with the 0 to 5 to host Nelson Mandela event in Etlageni Primary School at Shongweni, where we fed over 1,800 children, facilitated fitness activities to promote good nutrition and health to them. And 0 to 5 had previously sponsored us as peace players for 600 youth that we work with. They sponsored with the food packs for nutrition. And we are grateful to get an opportunity to work with them and share passion for good nutrition and fitness for the youth. In October 26, 2019, we also hosted a citywide tournament where we get the opportunity to showcase a magnificent work that our coaches, mentors facilitate through the year. In each year citywide, we averaging like 500 primary schools and high schools youth, 100 volunteers coming from Umlazi, Lamontville, and other areas, Wentworth, and also Hillcrest, and also Peter Marisbeck, who participated in core programs through the year and to play about 60 games in one day. We had pleasure to host the 50 volunteers also from Ignition Group, who spent a day as assistant coaching, sorting out food packs, lending us their photograph and video equipment to produce a video that showcased the day. In 24th to 25th of August, we also had an opportunity to host the local friendship games and the girls basketball tournament, where it was sponsored by Ed Paskowski and Penelope Paskowski from the US. The game took place in in every site in the month of July to August, where we were last location to host in this huge event. We had over 170 under 16 high schools and boys, 60 youth mentors, coaches from Durban and KZN around, participated into a day overnight event, and it was powerful and inspiring experience for everyone. And then on Saturday morning, the day of the 25th, the focus was just on station and improving basketball skills and promoting building leadership and also team cohesion amongst the children. Aside from South Africa hosting friendship games, also took place locally in the United States, Middle East, Northern Ireland, and Cyprus, which are the sites that Peace Players also operate. And these all the themes for all these 5 sites, local friendship games, will be incorporated at the upcoming global event. And the Peace Players South Africa relaunched the leadership development program, selecting 30 participants, and 20 of the participants will be attending future global friendship games in person, interacting with peers from all across Peace Players international sites. They are in for life-changing experience, and they are great leaders in their communities as well. So next year, we'll continue to grow, to build and grow nationwide through partnership, and we will be looking forward to inspire and unite and educate children and their communities using the basketball game and life skills. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the opportunity again that you're giving us, and also I would like to pass it to our board treasurer, Vasi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vasi Nayana, the board treasurer. I will walk you through a summary of the 2020 financial performance rounded to the nearest million or thousands, which has been prepared as a going concern basis. I will conclude with how we further want to continue to improve our governance so that you can place total reliance on our organization. Our detailed AFS will be sent out via electronically, via a brochure, and as well as the total AFS will be sent out. In 2020, our fiscal year ended with a deficit of 14,250 compared to a surplus of 110,845 rands in 2019. Our revenue for 2020 was 2.54 million rand. In 2019, it was 2.12 million rand. Our revenue increased by 428,000 rands. Our operating expenditure, however, was 767K in 2020, 338,000 in 2019, and another 429,000 increase in our operating expenditure. Our gross surplus for 2020 was 1.772 million, and in 2019 it is 1.774 million. Our other income posted a deficit of 25K in 2020 and 32K's income in 2019. Our administration expenses was 1.761 million rand in 2020 and 1.695 million rand in 2019, which saw a 66K increase. The following are the contributing factors to our deficit for 2020. Although revenue increased by 20.24%, 83% of the funding was received from Peace Players US, 8% from Laureus, and for the first time, we recorded revenue that was donated in kind to the value of 186,000 for photos and videos, meals, foods and drinks, participants' uniforms, and volunteers. Other income of 25K that posted a loss was due to Forex losses. The operating costs have risen by 429K due to the local friendship games. This had overnight participants, and we had an overnight stay at the hotel, and the major spends were spent on facility rental as well as participants' uniforms. The revenue that was recorded as a revenue in kind that was recorded as a matching expense also increased our operating expenses. Total admin costs are in line, and they've only increased by about 4% overall, and that is due to some of them had some major increases and some of them had some specific decreases year on year. The major increased expenditure is on lease, rentals, printing and stationery, as well as telephone costs. The audit expenses, however, have reduced by 40% as we have engaged with new auditors, namely Turning Point Consulting, whose reporting and auditing standards are of a very high standard in comparison to our previous auditors. There has been no capital expenditure for this year. Cash in bank, we have in the cash FNB account 37,216, South African general account 280,285 rand, the Laureus account 100,288. Total cash in the bank is 417,789 rand. In conclusion, I feel confident with the new accounting system that has been implemented and the most of the teething problems have been resolved. Ongoing training and improvements on the intact accounting package is being implemented. Having the new auditors on board also helps to place confidence on the audited AFS. There were a few recommendations put to management for day-to-day operations by the auditors. This will be implemented to ensure the internal controls are in place to safeguard the organization. Currently, police players are being kept afloat by the US division, and we need to start generating our own income here in South Africa. We would like to express our gratitude to our donors, stakeholders, the board management, staff of Peace Players for their contributions and dedication. We look forward to your continued support to all stakeholders and to achieve our financial goals in the current year. Thank you. So we now would have Rita.
Thank you. Thank you, Vasi. Thank you for that report. That will, like Vasi said, all be available in the reports to follow, and that NASA sent out already. Speaking about the financials, the next point on our agenda is the appointment of our auditors for the 2020-21 financial year. It's almost finished. Like Vasi said, we've been very satisfied with Turning Point Consulting, who we appointed last year for the first time. And I would nominate them again to be reappointed for the next financial year. Can I have a second, please?
I second that.
Thank you, Slee. There being no objections, the motion is passed and Turning Point Consulting is appointed again as our auditors for the next financial year. I'll give it over to May again now to introduce our speaker for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita, and welcome to our guests who've just joined us. My name is Maimuna Salim. I would like to introduce you to our keynote speaker for this evening. We're very excited about her. Her name is Linda Catherine Nkosi, better known as Linda. She is a business strategist and a project manager. And Linda is known to have spent most of her professional life cultivating growth and opportunities for different businesses and NGOs in multiple industries. Her career and her journey has been underpinned by a strong focus on leadership, sustainability, and empowerment. Her first of many achievements was in 1997, where she was awarded a full academic scholarship to the USA. A scholarship award was followed by a second achievement, which was a nomination to be a member of the Foreign Students Committee. So Linda does not only come with that, she has an MBA, she has a BSc in finance, project management, and the list goes on. I'm not going to carry on. I'll let Linda take the seat now. I'll hand you over to Ms. Linda Nkosi. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, May. Thank you so much for that introduction. And good evening, everyone. Chairperson of the board, board members, stakeholders, management and operations, guests and attendees, and all the live Facebook viewers. As Mimuna has said, my name is Linda Ngosi, and I'm so honored to be here tonight with you to speak and be able to learn about Peace Players and to hear about the progress and your achievements so far. And it sounds like you've been very, very busy the last year. So congratulations on that. And I think I want to give you a little bit more background about myself. And my background really started in Soweto, where I was born and brought up. And I was there until the better half of high school, completed my high school in the suburbs of Joburg, where my parents were able to then buy property and move to the nice parts of Johannesburg. And then after high school, that's when all that awarding of scholarships took place, and I moved to the United States at 19 years old and started my varsity life there in Chicago. And I think after a few degrees, accomplishing a few degrees, then started a family, was able to start my career there and move a bit again to Canada and ultimately move back home to South Africa. So it's been an interesting journey, and that's the long and short of it. But in the next few minutes, I hope I can share a bit more about myself and maybe connect with some of the viewers and yourselves, and also most importantly, shine a light at the importance of having organizations like Peace Players in our current environment. As some of you have alluded to the difficult times that we've been facing in the last year. So that has played a big role in what is required from NGOs and the greater part of business in general. But when I got this call to start to become a keynote speaker, I started doing some research on the impact of playing, right? Because essentially what Peace Players does is play sports. But I wanted to see what else does playing mean. And there's a statement that caught my eye when I was doing my research. And the statement that caught my eye was, playing is serious business. And I want us to hold on to that a bit and unpack it, because it has a good correlation, a very interesting correlation to what Peace Players has been doing in the market and in the greater communities that you are in. And I think also it behooves us to maybe even define a little bit more what playing is or what play means, right? And I did open the website dictionary and I went through it to see what it means. It was 3 pages long of a definition. It's a noun, it's a verb, and it has all kinds of other wide definitions. But luckily, I found a definition that I think speaks to what we're trying to accomplish here. And that definition is from the American Academy of Pediatrics. And they define play or playing as an activity that is intrinsically motivated, entails active engagement, and results in joyful discovery. And it does go on a little bit more, but I got also caught up with this bit of joyful discovery. And so I was like, okay, fine. This is what's interesting. This is getting more interesting. So there's joyful discovery, one side, and there's serious business on the other side. How do those two work? Because it sounds like an oxymoron to me. Joyful discovery and serious business. But further, as I did further research, I realized that they work well hand in hand, actually. And the reason why they work hand in hand, it's actually part of Peace Players' values, because, you know, I was also doing more research about what you guys do, right? And I realized that your values speak to what this means. Joyful discovery, serious business. So let's go through some of your values. Seeing people as people. That sounds serious to me. Inside out transformation. Serious business. Cultural collaboration. That's pretty serious. And not only the values, I also saw some of your goals that make it sound very serious, which is bridging divides, developing leadership, changing perspectives, and conflict transformation. All of that is serious. Yet, it is achieved through joyful discovery of playing sports. So I think I started getting even more excited. And then I started remembering my formative years as a young girl playing. And as I said, I'm from Soweto. And the streets were our playgrounds. We didn't have like designated areas to play. Wherever you could make space to play, you played. And a lot of us were expected to be in the streets playing, but it was really an escape more than anything. Escape from our homes, the 3-room houses that we all lived in, and maybe the stress in the house or whatever the case may be, to make space, because I mean, 3-room house is quite tiny if you can think about it. But that time, our playing or the games or the sports that we were doing were mostly about distinguishing winners and losers. It was pretty competitive. And as innocent as we were, we understood very well that playing was about rivalry. And sometimes blood will be shed because there'll be fights and commotion will break out. And don't get me wrong, we had fun. It was hell of a release. Aggression was released, stress was released. But what we didn't have was the guided, organized process of translating playing into an impact in our communities and in our own lives. We did not have the opportunity or the use of those moments to bridge divisions, learn about transformation. We didn't learn about leadership skills, conflict resolution skills, none of that. It was either who won that day, who lost that day, and that was it. And we left. I mean, there were some things that were going on. Of course, I'm being very generalistic, but the crux of the matter was that there wasn't a lot of that happening. And I'm going to project even further now, maybe even be a little far-fetched or a bit of a stretch, and say that, or put it to you, that the results of the lack of those goals and values-based playing are in our faces right now. We see it daily in our lives as the adults that we are. I mean, with all things considered, of course. They are in our faces as we deal with the world that we deal with today. We spoke again about the challenges that we're facing. But what we are also facing is a world that is divided more than ever. Adults are struggling to help each other, and race inequality issues remain unresolved to this day. Leaders are struggling to connect with their constituents in different spaces that they occupy. And our children, since we are adults now, we had our children, they are looking to the media as guidance instead from us as they start their journey of life. We don't even understand what it means to connect to them through playing. We want them just to do well and pass, or just win or lose. And there is a saying that is often used flippantly when someone is struggling to collaborate, and most of the time it's an adult that they use it with, and they say, oh, that one, they don't play well with others. I'm sure you've heard that before. And this saying really references this dichotomy of a joyful discovery that was never used well, that didn't materialize into an adult that can handle certain situations, and this adult has not reaped the benefit of their playtime. So with that, I realized that more research needs to be done, more needs to be understood about playing. And I did dig a little deeper. Then I discovered that there is far more benefiting even younger children, because what I have noticed, or at least noticed in my reading, is that playing has an extensive and well-documented and improvement in language, early math skills, social development, peer relations, physical development, and health. And it enhances sense of urgency, where we can control yourself. And the opposite is likely true, suggested that if you didn't play or you play deprived, it's associated with increased prevalence of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I know that's now become a cliche where somebody is struggling to focus or struggling to put things together, that they have ADHD, because it's everywhere now. And so the demand of today's world requires different methods. It requires us to realize that we need to be more innovative and apply ourselves more and transfer more of our skills or what we have learned. And what better way to describe what playing sports is, especially the way Peace Players is doing it. It's innovative, it requires application, it requires transference. So, and something that I think Peace Players knows very well is that play also reflects and transmits cultural values. In fact, my research did indicate that recess as we know it, began in the United States to socially integrate immigrant children. So if you can imagine the monumental reason that children play, this should explain it. And furthermore, I noticed that the United Nations has a certain clause enshrined in the United Nations Convention on the Rights of a Child that says the child has a right to play that is appropriate to age, anytime, anyway. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that's what it says essentially. And also, the Museum of Modern Art noted that in its exhibit, The Century of a Child, 1900 to 2000, that the 21st century, what work was to industrialization is play. We must demonstrate knowing, doing, and creative value. So, in conclusion, with all that research, with all that has been spoken about playing, they have clearly identified that what Peace Players has been doing and has been enshrined in your work with playing with children and in sports, it's important. It's serious business. And that you should never even think that what you are doing is not necessary. And it's needed now more than ever. And the research also strongly speaks to how starting even earlier on with the kids, as they start to learn the movement of their bodies and interacting with other children, the values that they get from there will also help them down the line. And the challenges that they face, even in their teenagehood, will be much easier because they started early to be taught how to interact with each other. And you, Peace Players, as an organization, have worked very hard since your inception of 2001, yet it feels like you only have just begun, because when you look at the challenges that we face, there is a great need for all the work that you are putting out there in the communities. Therefore, keep innovating your organization, keep applying yourselves, Keep transferring your impact and never underestimate this joyful discovery that kids have in these different communities, because play, as I have tried to outline very succinctly, play is serious, and it's also very necessary to have peaceful playing. And with that said, I would like to say thank you again for this opportunity. And I'm not sure when exactly is your birthday, but happy 20th anniversary. According to my calculations, you are 20 years old as far as the day that you are of inception. And I really truly hope that as you go and grow, you will find even bigger places to occupy and make an impact. Thank you. I will hand it over to Nasi.
Thank you so much, Linda, for that powerful address. And it's really good when you are able to take research and you're able to quantify it with what the organizations are doing. Without further ado, I would then just move to my two colleagues that are managing questions on Facebook and on Zoom to check if there are any questions that have been asked that we could throw back to all our board of directors to answer. So I have Tando that is taking questions on Zoom, and Sobani who is taking questions on Facebook. Do you have anything, guys?
We have nothing yet on Facebook.
Thanks, Sobani.
Oh, hi, Nas. I have one here.
Okay.
So the one question is just around the challenges that you guys have had with resources and infrastructure going forward. If we do go into a fourth or third wave, how will you guys be able to manage with the lack of resources?
All right. Thank you, Tando. Would any member besides Nasiti like to take that?
Yeah, thank you, Tando. So obviously with the limited resources, Peace Plus is always, to try their best to engage with children. If we move away from that wave, let's say, not from that wave, from the level 3 to level 4 or to level 5, we'll go virtual activities with the participants. Obviously, not all of them, they are able to access the resources like computers or tablets, but we always, work with whoever we can, in communities that they can just, access those. We always urge people, to even, pledge or donate, for the old gadgets, so that should we move to level 5 or level 4, we are able to still interact with our children like we did in the year 2020. So I don't know if I answered your question, but we obviously gonna move to the virtual world if we come to the lockdown level 5 or level 4.
Thank you, Sifiso. I was hoping you're going to say at the end, or the vaccines will get to South Africa sooner than next year. Thank you, Tando. I hope that helps to answer that question. Does anyone else have a question, even just amongst the members?
There are more questions here.
Oh, brilliant. Yes, Tando, let's go. What is the next?
Okay, the next question was, sorry, in the goal of trying to achieve interaction are you still reaching the same impact and outcomes virtually as you would in person?
Brilliant. Will any of our board members like to answer? I can take that. Okay, I can take that one, Tando. Obviously, meeting people in person is different than having a direct interaction in person. That it's much easier because you're able to not just hear on the phone someone telling you they're okay and they're not okay, but you get to see the emotions behind their response. You get to look what they're wearing. You're able to see if they've eaten, they've not eaten. You get to see their emotions really, if they're excited or they're not excited, or what is going on beyond the facade than it is on the phone. But being able to even provide that small opportunity just to have access through media, it's not ideal, but unfortunately we're dealing with a deadly pandemic where we need to constantly follow protocol, wear masks, sanitize, social distance. We are very mindful of that, and we would rather keep our participants safe the best way we can. I would recall a time last year when we are in level 5 and complete shutdown, having to get permits to drive through the city to drop basketball or food parcels, food vouchers to certain families that were without food, receiving phone calls from parents and grandparents saying they don't have anything, they are not working, everyone is laid off. And that is still the case. And just to add on that, that is actually our reality. That's the type of participants we're dealing with on a daily basis, but the pandemic has escalated that. Hence, we're truly grateful for the people that were able to identify that, to our partners who are willing to even redirect some of the funds to make sure that if they were meant to, for instance, pay for a bus for a team traveling to another school for their cross-community games, we're able to redirect that to say, how can we, this person needs food, they don't have food right now. This person is not able to attend virtual sessions. Fortunately, even our coaches were able to purchase tablets last year so that they're able to attend these sessions. So I think it's honestly, we prepare the best we can from our side. We hope for the best and hope that the little that we bring to the table really does add value and transform people's lives. Thanks, Tando.
All right, I have just two more.
Sorry, hi, can I just add something there? Everyone can hear me.
Yes.
I'm not going to put on my camera right now. Just another thing on that point is that from the global perspective, they started in a new M&E impact tests and an impact program that is being rolled out later in this year. So we'd probably be able to give a better answer to that at the next AGM once we've applied all those new measurements to the situation that we're sitting in with now. So come back to the next AGM to hear more.
Okay, I'll move to the next question. The next question is looking at the current effects of COVID on funding and finances, and looking at the global contribution of 83%. Are there any local initiative or fundraising initiatives that Peace Players have planned?
Thank you, Tando. Any of my board members would like to take that?
I think, Naz, you best to answer that one.
It did sound like my question. Yes, Tando. So we continuously are looking for innovative ways to raise funds. We have about 2 million rand of proposals that went out this month, and we are hoping to hear back worth about 2 million rand that went out. We're waiting to hear between now and the next 5 months for a response from them. It's from some of the partners that we have worked with previously, who supported us previously. There's still more that is going to be going on throughout the year, seeking, but it's not only through donation, through grant funding that we are seeking for ways to support our programs. We're going to be doing also creative activities like running campaigns, because every rand, like I said earlier, does tend to go a long way. So we are really focusing right in this financial, in this 2020-2021 financial year. That's when we really started focusing on reestablishing some of the relationships in South Africa to raise money locally. And also we do appreciate money from global, but also within South Africa, we believe that our program is not that big to not fund. I always say jokingly to the guys that it would take 6 months to turn things around, and to R1 million, I'm sure one person can afford to give that to us. But we are collecting it in small bits, and hopefully we should come above board in the next financial year as well.
Okay, and the last question is on collaboration. Will there be any collaboration with EBA going forward?
That's my favorite question. Should I take that, Sis, or you want to take it?
You can take it.
I think I'll take it because of time. So eThekwini Basketball Association is one of our favorite partners, mainly because in the area where we're working in Durban, eThekwini Basketball Association, they're the guys that are looking after basketball development. We have been trying to get into meetings with them, hopefully to sign an MOU. Last weekend, my colleague Tando and one of our coaches, they attended a collaboration session with them to look at how we're approaching sports in the time of COVID. So it is a working relationship. We're hoping not just NBA, the institutional partners are very important to us. eThekwini Municipality, Department of Sports and Recreation, in Pietermaritzburg, and other people that govern, especially our sports, Department of Social Development, Department of Education. Those are all important partners to us that we need to have signed agreements beyond just, we have relationships at the moment, they are informal because there's no signed agreements, but we are continuously looking to make them official. And I have no doubt that the EBA have changed their structure. In the last year, they have a new committee or the new body right now that I'm sure that they will continue to work with the KZN basketball to make sure that relationships like ours, we've been doing this work in the province for 20 years now. We are recognized. I attended a workshop with the Department of Sport and Recreation, and they do recognize us as a very good contributing partner to the transformation of sports and of the society in South Africa. So I'm hoping to have more formal partnerships moving into this new financial year. Thanks, Tando.
That's it from me with questions.
And Tobani, do you have anything on Facebook? So good.
Not yet.
All right. Thank you, Tando and Tobani. Members and anyone else on the call, is there a question that you can maybe unmute your mic and ask it if you didn't get a chance to type it on the chat?
May I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the footprint in Africa, or do you have a footprint in Africa? And if so, what is the partnerships that you do have? Which partnerships do you have? And if not, what is the plan for that? Do you have interest in that?
Amazing. I would let my board chair answer this because she loves this part. I'll get started, and the rest of my team can join in. So definitely, we have a footprint in Africa, as you've heard in the beginning of our report, that we don't only work in South Africa, but we work in other countries in Europe and also in the United States. We have something that is called SPIN at Peace Players, where we partner more like technical assistance. Maybe I can call it that in South Africa, where we've partnered with other already existing organizations in countries like Rwanda, in Ethiopia, in Uganda, previously helping them exchange our methodology that we are using at Peace Players, helping them develop their own curriculums within their own context where they are. And those are still ongoing programs. And I'm sure you've seen recently with Africa, NBA Africa officially launching in Africa. So basketball worldwide, I think the feedback that we're continuously getting is that the sport is growing very fast again. It had slowed down, it's picking up again, that across South Africa, across Africa especially, there's more people that are playing because the sport is quite easy. It's a bit easier to access. You don't require a lot of resources except for basketball, hoop and sneakers, but you can also play without those things. So I would say definitely look out for us across South Africa and in Africa. We are continuously looking for partnerships, and how we approach growth and partnership at Peace Players South Africa is that we don't just go, for instance, now that our office is in Durban, we don't go to Johannesburg to open another office because that is not sustainable. So sustainability and local leadership are our priorities to make sure that when we partner, for instance, with organizational partners in Rwanda, they already have a footprint. They are from that community. They know that community better than us. Same as how we're working in Umlazi or Lamonzo or Wentworth. It's the same concept that there are people from that community who are more than capable to solve their own issues, who understand the issues that they have. And what we do as Peace Players will come as an assisting hand to help others share resources in any way we can. If they need something developed, we can assist with developing that through technical assistance and through SPIN. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I was asking particularly because of that growth that I've noticed, especially in Rwanda. I've seen that there is a bit of footprint there. And Basketball Africa has also made a big impact in those areas. So thank you for that, Liz.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just to further address that, we do have plans and things in the works and so on, but we're not at the point yet where we can announce anything. Needless to say, if anyone has any contacts, knows of any countries that have interest, they're more than welcome to let us know, to let Nasipi know. As we said, there's always a avenue to open a conversation on.
Thank you, Rita. I will note that, and I will see what I have in the pipeline and let you know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If there's no further questions, I would like to pass the mic to our board secretary, Silindile Ngoni.
Good evening, everybody. My name, as Nasi has said, thanks for that, Nas, is Silindile Ngoni, and I am the board secretary at Peace Players. And my job here today is actually very easy. Firstly, I'd like to thank our former board members that resigned within the last financial year, who are Sally Pillay, who was our longest serving member of the board, and Lucky Sitole. Secondly, I'd like to thank the schools that we are currently operating at in the different areas. The first area is Durban City, where we have Brea Primary School, Addington Primary School, Carrington Primary School, Claywood Primary School, Durban Primary School, Umbilo community team, and at the Lamondville Township, we have Bega Pambili Primary School, Bantu Vugani Primary School, Excelsior Primary School, Lamont community team, and at the Wentworth Township, we have Gardenia Primary School, Coringwood Primary School, Assegai Primary School, Wentworth High School. At Umlazi Township, we have Segelani Primary School, Webezela Primary School, Sukuma Primary School, Mtetweni Primary School, Umlazi West Community Team. And in other areas where you have presence is Pietermaritzburg YMCA, at Cottonlands, which has the Live Village. Hillcrest, we have Highbury Primary School. Molweni, we have Tolulwazi Secondary School, Bazamile Primary School, Laluma Primary School. Thanks. And last but not least, we'd like to thank all the partners that contributed during our 2020 financial year, who are the Peace Players Global, Loris Sports for Good Foundation, Sport for Social Change Network, 0 to 5, Child Welfare Durban District, St. Stephen's College, and FIF Volunteer Program from Germany, Ignition Group, CIA Training Institute, Youth Zones, schools contribution, the school that contributed and the individuals that contributed. And since our list is so long, we are unable to name all the individuals that did contribute, but we do appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. The list will be published. The full list of contributors will be published in our annual report. Thank you. I'd like to hand the mic over to Rita.
Thank you so much, Lee. And thank you to the board members. Just someone else Nas forgot to add to the list there is Nas, Fiso, and the whole team, including Doug and Tubani, who were acting as tech support tonight. Thank you so much for making the meeting possible, even though we can't all be together. Love you guys so much. And I'm very impressed with us. We're going to finish right on time. There being no further business, I now declare the 2019-2020 AGM closed. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night.
Catching fire as the wind blows.